Welcome to DrWhitty Today, where we're unpacking stories that move us forward. Some stories don't start with privilege, they start with pressure. They start in neighborhoods where resources are thin, but resilience is thick. They start with a young mother doing everything she can to hold the world together, and a child watching closely, learning accountability before he could spell it, learning perseverance before he could define it. Today's guest didn't just rise from humble beginnings. He rose from intention. From Kansas City streets that tested him, to classrooms that transformed him, to a mindset that refused to let circumstances write the ending. He built a life rooted in gratitude, shaped by discipline, and guided by a faith that never flinched. This is not a story about status. This is a story about substance, about a man who chose purpose over pressure, clarity over chaos, and humility over hype. When the odds lined up against him, he didn't fold, he focused. This is Henry Mincey III. Listeners and viewers, get ready for a conversation, a moment already in motion, a heartbeat, a truth, a spark. Please welcome our host, Dr. Whitty.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Everybody, glad you're in the house. We see somebody on Little Lady Life Culture. Thank you for tuning in to DrWhitty Today. Glad to have you. And hopefully this won't be your last time joining in. We have an awesome guest. We got a great conversation coming up. But before we get into it, I just want to say, Henry Mincey, welcome to the platform. And just give everybody a shout out and let us know how you're doing.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, Dr. Whitty, man. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to my family in Kansas City. Hey, my family in St. Louis. We here.
All right. So we're going to get right into it. So family, lean in, because today's episode is not just a conversation. It's a reminder that where you start has nothing on where you're destined to go. So my guest today is a man who embodies not only discipline, but also gratitude and the kind of quiet strength that turns pressure into purpose. Henry Mincey III, better known as, I just found out, Trey, didn't grow up with abundance. He grew up with accountability, good work ethic, and a mother whose determination became the blueprint for his own. From humble beginnings in Kansas City to becoming a leader grounded in clarity, conviction, and also humility, his journey is proof that your environment can shape you, but it does not get to define who you are and who you become. So this brother built his life brick by brick through faith, through education, through growth, through the decision to rise when circumstances said, sit still, you won't make it. He chose substance over status, He chose purpose over pressure. And today, he's here to pour into us with the same intentionality that carried him from limited resources to limitless resolve. So, folks, buckle up because this episode is for anyone who has ever felt counted out, underestimated, or overlooked. Henry Mincey III is about to remind us that our beginning is not our boundary, it's our launch pad. So let's get into it. This is Dr. Whitty Today. And when stories like this hit the mic, the odds don't stand a chance. So, Henry Mincey, thank you once again for being a guest on Dr. Whitty Today. And we are going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about identity and foundation. So,
Sir.
all right, let's get it. So, when you look back at your upbringing, what were the defining moments that shaped your sense of responsibility early on?
Early on, I can say what shaped my responsibility or sense of responsibility was being raised with my two younger sisters. You know, being the older sibling, you get well accustomed to setting the tone, making sure even when mom's out working, holding that household down, making sure safety's intact, we ain't breaking nothing, nothing gets broke. Um, but that's just kind of a simple, simplistic initiation to responsibility for me coming up.
All right, you said something there, making sure things didn't get broken. Because
Yeah,
I can remember fights happening, glass breaking,
yeah,
holes being punched through walls. I can remember all of that. But like you, I can remember that sense of responsibility when my mother would leave and go to work and entrust us with some sort of responsibility, whether it was to take care of the house, to clean up, to go to the store, whatever it was. That did something for us. And even though back then we didn't know it, when we look at our lives today, we can look back and value all the things that our mother instilled in us at that early age. So
yeah.
thank you for your response. All right, so that's a good segue into this one. What did intentionality look like for you before success was visible?
That's a great question. It looked like persevering through, having a vision, not accepting the circumstances again and the odds that were probably were to define you, and just choosing to persevere and power through those. Setting a goal for myself, not um, not compromising what can be and what I can achieve, and just having that mindset early. Um, I was raised with a family on both sides that told me to strive for the stars, never, feel limited. So just having that mentality, essentially.
Okay. And so, as you laid out your plan or your blueprint for success, can you tell us an important step uh, that you implemented or that you used to help prepare yourself to reach that particular goal or milestone?
Man, interesting enough, initially, this is something I kind of, as far as just my career field now, was just more of a practical means of providing for my family going forth and providing for myself. So it wasn't much, meticulous, uh, drawn out plan in the beginning stages. It actually became more refined as I was seeing that I can actually, walk the walk in a sense. So even though it's not something that I initially did in the beginning, what I've grown to learn as far as being perseverance and putting more of the vision together is diligent planning, writing down a timeline, what I want to achieve at a specific time, and sticking to it. And then not only that, uh, making them working it backwards, right? Like, okay, I know where I'm trying to get to. Let me work it backwards as far as being diligent on what it takes. What I'm seeing a professional. Okay, I want to be a CPA, have my own firm. Let me look into what certification that CPA needed, what experience, was requisite, prior to being at that stage. So just being diligent essentially and actually writing it down. Long story short.
Right. Thank you. You said something important, backwards planning. That's something that a lot of us, or a lot of us, and a lot of people don't take into consideration. We have a goal, but then we don't backwards plan, and that's one thing that's very important. As you set your goal, you got to go back and say, okay, what are all the steps? What are all the many tasks that I have to complete to get to that goal at the specific time that I'm trying to achieve it? So all that goes into being intentional. So that was great. Now, in all of that, who were you becoming internally while the external milestones were still in progress?
Man, that's a great question. Um, Essentially, I was becoming a man. I will say, again, when the circumstances, being, not the most favorable in the sense of, having to manage all aspects of life, being a father, going to school, working full time, uh, and just those three aspects alone, it can definitely be cumbersome. So, allowing my faith, essentially allowing God to be with me, leading me as far as just my spirit, and not being shaken by, the downs of the journey, um, and just understanding principalities, and refining more of my values and what I value as a man. So essentially, right, I was becoming a man.
All right. I'm really glad that you mentioned that first, because a lot of times what we work on is not the person. We work on the persona. And so I'm glad that you said, well, I was working on being a father, and I was working on, building up myself, building up my character, so that I can better be. I don't like to use the term balance. I know a lot of people use the term work life balance, but I like to use the term work life fitness, because I believe that it's essentially uh, that balance these days is hard to come by, and almost don't exist. So we have to
Man,
build we have to build up ourselves for those moments that we feel overwhelmed or stressed. And so we have to position ourselves so that we can be fit. So when it happens, then we're fit in that moment, and we can handle it, and we don't spaz out, or what's the term that they use today?
crash
Back
out.
crash out. In my day, crash out meant I was tired, I was gonna fall down, in the bed. But today, crash out means, I'm going to say or do something that is going to be hard for me to
Yeah,
overcome, perhaps that person to overcome. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think it's important for us to work on the self, the inner person first, because what we usually do is we work on our persona and what people see, and then our character don't measure up, and then that's when you see things crash and burn, and then we have to take a step back and then go in reverse and start working on the inner person, when we have to do that first. So, and I think that's what is really important, and I'm glad that you pointed that out for that particular question. So before we go into the next segment, the lows, the struggle, pressure, and the private battles, I just want to say that it's been a pleasure meeting Henry. We had a few conversations, all great, very excited. Couldn't wait to get him on the show. And I don't have I guess, a plan per se all the time when I'm looking for guests to be on the show, but I'm always looking for somebody who has a story that can uplift and empower and be impactful to my audience. And so one day I was scrolling through LinkedIn, and I saw this gentleman. You probably can see him in the back, where he's kind of like got a little smile holding up, his degree and everything. But when I seen it, I scroll past a lot of different things that I see, because I don't do a lot of scrolling on social media. But I saw that, and then and I had to go back, and I said, there's got to be a story, and I need to find out what it is or what it was. And so I'm really glad that I felt compelled to reach out to you, and I'm really grateful that you accepted the invitation to come on the platform. So I hope that something that's said today will be impactful and that will hit someone that's listening or watching the program today. All right. So what was the hardest season during your MBA journey that most people never saw?
One of the hardest seasons, man, I can recall it. It was of April 2024. And what made it tough, man, was just the transition I was going through personally, career wise, and then of course, school on the academic level. 2024, I got out of a relationship, having to, adjust my environment, my surroundings, had to move in with a friend, essentially. Shout out to my friend Kenny, by the way. Uh, I had to move in with a friend. So, and again, having to adjust to a new schedule in the sense of my children, me and their mother, we was living together. So, with us being apart, having to construct a new schedule. Um, and like I said, now changed jobs. I came from, well, at that time, right, April 2024, I was working at a KCPS school district. And that's a school district here in Kansas City, Missouri, one of the most prevalent, I would say. And I was transitioning to not private practice, but the private sector of accounting, more managerial for private corporations. So just adjusting back to the corporate lifestyle, that definitely was a difference of its own. So yeah, and then and that was a transition even spiritually, man. I ain't gonna lie, like it was a lot as far as just the lows, mentally, that I had to persevere through and not fall completely under. I'm not gonna act like it was perfect, or I handled that in the best ways all the time as far as just responding to those circumstances. But yeah, that was the toughest from 2024, really all the way through 2025 of March, because then I got laid off. I got laid off in January of 2025, man. So yeah, it was a lot, having to adjust to a lot of different circumstances. Essentially, yeah, that was the tough. I think a lot of people didn't see.
And so, how do you think your upbringing contributed to your ability to navigate that time period?
So, man, I come from a family, and even within my household, we never let. I mean, we really, we both sides come from, adverse struggle background. So it's always and never has been easy or as the most stabilizing. So even with the instability, not having the most solid foundations, still having a will to proceed forward, and not to be super religious or by any means, but we have a biblical faith, a Christian faith. So definitely, allowing that to spearhead us through. I would say, as far as just not having a giving up mindset, attitude, nor spirit. And that was really embedded, right, really from inside out, as far as just what was, instilled in me at a young age.
All right, great. Thank you for that. So, did you ever doubt whether the investment of time, money, and energy was worth it, and what kept you steady through the process?
Man, I definitely doubted if time, money, especially the money, because I'm going on student loans, y'all. I'm no special grants, no scholarships. So essentially, I feel like I have to make this happen. I have to see it through for sure. If anything, that was something that furthermore encouraged me. But I did doubt it. More specifically, and I'm gonna kind of go back to my undergrad with that, like not really fully seeing how I would execute. I see the vision, right? Like, okay, I can go to school, something practical accounting. I like numbers. I can get my beat in, my bachelor's, and then it sounds good to get my CPA, but I'm not really seeing it through, and knowing what it looks like, year to year, step by step. So I would say, really just the clarity, um, having clarity in the sense of, no, this is definitely going to pay off. As I continue to, again, work it backwards, to be more diligent as far as, what this career can yield for me in my family. So, of course, I did doubt it. I did doubt it throughout, you know, um, more of the preliminary stages of that journey. But as I continue to persevere through, just seeing more of the clarity associated with my specific pathway, no, I was sure. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna finish this out. Indeed, this is definitely gonna be worth it.
All right. Thank you. I will tell you this. You weren't by yourself. You aren't by yourself. Um,
Never.
Many of us, if not all of us, was in that same position of, having a goal, having a desire, and not fully really grasping what it took to get there. And you're in the middle of it, and all you can do is press the go button. And then you start seeing everything, all the different obstacles that come up, all the different challenges. And I believe that all those things come up because it's testing you to see if you really want it. And so there's a reason why, they have statistics that say, you know, such and such graduation rate or whatever, because everybody don't follow through to the end. And it's not necessarily that they can't or couldn't, they just didn't for whatever reason. All right.
Definitely.
So I'm glad that you stuck it through. Now, besides your kids, who else was in the back of your mind as a reason that you had to follow through?
Oh man, that's a good question. Aside from my children, really, I mean, me. I, I didn't, simply put. It just goes back to just the principality of being a man. Finishing what you start, and I just had a will. Aside from how my children, how my family will benefit from that, yeah, I have to see it through. Uh, I guess that's just my mental or just my predisposition on that. And that's with anything, good or bad. If I'm already treading that trailblazing, now we have to see this through. I'll be compromising. Like, it will compromise who I am and who I want to be, as far as just as we'll say in, modern culture, a stand up individual. I wouldn't be that if I don't see this through for myself. So yeah, I'll say, right, me.
All right. And you know what? That's my number one piece of encouragement that I give the mentees that I mentor, and especially the doctoral students. Um, my number one piece of guidance is always remember why you started. Because what I tell them is there will be a time that you're ready to give up. There will be a time that you're ready to quit. There will be a time that you're going to doubt if you can get to that goal, if you can achieve that milestone. It's just a matter of when it'll happen. And I can attest to several students that have had different testimonies, and not only them, but I myself. And so, like you said, the ability to see it through, the ability to finish what I started, and that's key. All right. So, how did you manage fatherhood, work, and school without losing yourself?
Hey, first I'm gonna give all, as all the artists say when they get their trophies, I'm gonna give all glory be to God, and that's not just for, you know uh just verbal verbatim. That's literally my testament. That's how I got through, because like I said, it was, man, outside though just the external circumstances of having to manage my time, prepare, study, go to work, make sure the kids are fed, make sure they're together at home. Man, there was a lot of days where I wasn't in the best mental state, uh, in an emotional state, to where it's I'm literally getting by off of the strength of, I'll say, the strength of God for sure. And I would like to add too, definitely when it was feasible. My family, man, they definitely supported me I believe in each way that they could, because hey, we're going through a lot of different transitions in our lives. My mother, she was in school herself, working full time, and my family's already small, so um, man, just basically embracing the support that I had while also just man, right, cleaving to my faith for sure.
All right, nothing wrong with that. I give all praises to him myself because um, I know that without him, you know, when I look back, even when I look forward, or look at my peripheral, I know that I could not be where I am. I could not have accomplished whatever I've accomplished. I cannot do whatever I seek to accomplish without that peace, without that strength. And so I thank God every day for that. So no problem here. That's who the glory belongs to.
You
All
hear
right.
me? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. So let's talk about the highs, the achievement, and the perspective. So, was there a moment where you realized I'm rewriting history? I'm rewriting the narrative.
Definitely. And it really came about right while I was enduring my MBA, my graduate program. Just kind of having more of a perspective and understanding as far as where a lot of the members of my family come from. We really don't come from uh, a educational background. A lot we're inbred and we went off of just pure ethic, having that. So being able to rewrite the narrative as far as what it means, uh, not to just be black, but more, I guess, more specifically relative to rewriting the narrative for my family, like what we can achieve as far as the generations going on ahead, especially for my children. They'll know that hey, these milestones, education, this knowledge can be attained. It's not something that just seems so far fetched. It is achievement that can definitely be executed, and just simply understanding and having that resource, being able knowing that it will transcend and that the future generations can benefit. So I truly believe I was a part of rewriting that narrative within just my family, not just for a young black man, which I mean I think that's definitely a feat of its own. Uh, but yeah, definitely rewriting the narrative for my family.
I definitely feel that. I feel the same way when it comes to my family. Although there are several members in my family that um, have gone to school and have achieved different heights as far as education. Um, I know from my immediate family, um, I was the first, and just to be able to get to the level that I was at, just by the mere fact that I never thought myself that I would get there.
That part.
Um, I thank God for it, but I also look at it as a part of my legacy. Like as you said, when you look at me, you don't look at it as something that you can't obtain. And so that's one of the things that I share with people all the time when they say, "Oh, well, I want to do this," or "How did you do this?" or "How did you get there?" Or "Well, I
Mhm.
thought about doing that myself." And so I challenge them and I say, "Hey, you stop thinking, you stop wishing. You told yourself somewhere that it was too hard or that you couldn't do it or you didn't have time or whatever, but if you can think it, you can do it or you can be it. And so once it enters into your mind, you have to implement it. And that's why, even the Bible tells us that we have to write the vision and make it plain. And that means write the vision, do all the back planning. Sometimes that even means that you've got to talk to other people that has been where you're trying to go. You got to get some wisdom on it. It can mean a lot of things, but I heard somebody today say that They believe that it was because they wrote things down that they begin to see all these things happen in their life. And so that's something that we got to do. Even once we think of it and we want to do it, we got to make a plan, a blueprint, and then see it through and follow through. Like you said, remember why we started, and then go. And then, you might have to even, take a break or whatever, but always come back and remember, this was my goal. This is what I said I was going to do. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to back off, back down, cave in, quit. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to reach my goal.
Indeed. Yes, sir.
All right. So, how did you celebrate achievement in your life, and how did you keep it from becoming your identity?
Oh man, that's interesting because quite frankly, like I said, it was a lot going on, even finishing out, or I guess not fully have regulated through the motions, right? So May of 2025, I graduated with the MBA from Abilene University, and man, I didn't honestly, I didn't make a big deal of it. I really didn't. Like, I didn't like have a party. I didn't, make big announcements even within my like some members of my family, man, didn't even know that had finished school. Um, so my celebration was really very humble, I would say. I knew I was finished. Praying to God, thanking Him that I got through. That is like this was something going into. I wasn't sure that I can, fulfill and execute, and being able and to endure and persevere through the journey. Man, just knowing that was a celebration of its own, really. And just taking the big, okay, I'm cool, I'm good. Like I knocked that out, so it's like now the next step in my plan. Oh, okay, cool. I can focus on that. Full speed ahead. And really, the post like that day, I got my my actual degree. Man, I definitely celebrated in the sense of just highlighting that to the world, putting that on the platform. I'm not very active on social media. Um, and I just thought, I'm like, hey, why not? This is my flex. If anything, I'm have my way of showing it to the world. Um, so yeah, no, I kept it pretty basic, really. Um, yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this: is or I should say, where you are right now, are you planning to go further in that process, or are you gonna stop where you are?
I'm definitely going forward. I'm planning to get my CPA no later than fall of 2027, particularly August. Yeah, I already have my attestation figured out, which is basically signing off on my hours for my experience because it's an experience component along with the typical education exams. So at this point, I give myself a timeline. I want to do it in 10 months, which is I start in August. Because it's a lot that I'm already working on at this present time. So August, I'm hitting the ground running with studying and taking my exams 3 months apart. I did the math for I can get it done with a 12-hour a week schedule. I can get it done by July of 2027. So that's the goal, and that's what I'm doing heading for. I'm getting them letters, man. CPA.
All right. All right, CPA.
Yes, sir.
All right. I just wanted to say I can relate as far as when you said you didn't really celebrate. I think for the most part, my undergraduate, and my next two graduates, I didn't celebrate. And so when I actually went into my doctoral program, I said to myself, I've missed 3 graduations. So if I graduate, I said, if I graduate this, I'm going. And so I say that not to boast, I say that to you because I want you to celebrate
For
because
sure. Yeah.
it's nothing wrong with celebrating it, but just don't celebrate it too long.
That part.
Celebrate it and you say, okay, great, thank you, and move on.
I, wa-
So I look forward
I like
to
to mention too, in a way, I did celebrate. Not to cut you off, sir. My bad if I did. But I wanted to mention, man, I celebrated with my brother DJ Skinner. Um,
okay.
we both graduated high school together. We both graduated our journey at Missouri Western, our undergrad. So man, he like we locked in together on getting our MBAs. And I enjoyed the celebration that he had at Cooper Hall. So yeah, that was a part of our celebrate. Well, part of me celebrating for sure.
All right.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
All right. So one more. And what's more fulfilling, the degree itself or who you had to become to earn it?
Man, look, indeed, it's who I had to become to earn it. And that's what I embrace too. Like as much as all the variables were definitely uncomfortable. Man, definitely inconvenient at times. I embraced as far as how it was refining me and my character. Again, going back to what I mentioned before, like this, seeing and being purified in a sense, mentally, spiritually, to become the man that I want to be for myself. So it was really the journey, man, earning it, seeing that I can persevere, that I can endure, that I can be flexible, that I can adapt to all of the different variables and aspects of life, man. Literally the unforeseen cap, things that'll cap you, kind of clip you into the triumphs. When it's a lot going on, it's a lot there's a lot of good going on as well. So man, just embracing that really, that's what matters to me more. Who I have to become to earn it.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. This is a great conversation, folks. We got Henry Mincey III on DrWhitty Today. We're having a great conversation. And before we go into the remaining segments of our show, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We don't want you to go anywhere. You can go grab a quick, sandwich or juice, whatever you might snack on. But please come back and enjoy the rest of this awesome conversation. We'll be right back in just a second.
Presented by Dr. Timothy Felton and Teron Coleman, Black Boys Matter explore the vital role of parental presence in raising Black sons. As Black boys navigate persistent obstacles and challenges, fostering authentic, trusting, and nurturing relationships through positive engagement becomes crucial. Each chapter of this profound manuscript leaves readers with greater understanding and deliberate techniques for addressing the issues these young men face. Get your copy wherever books are sold. Unlock a happier, more fulfilling life with planned maturity for teens. Are your teens struggling with low self-esteem, feeling lost, or seeking practical advice to navigate their teenage years? Then look no further. Planned Maturity for Teens is more than just another self-help book. It's a comprehensive roadmap to a brighter future. This book offers insightful guidance and tools teenagers need to develop a positive mindset. Its practical advice and clear strategies helps teenagers build self-confidence and overcome adolescent challenges. The author draws on years of experience working with young people to provide real-life lessons and relatable and actionable advice. From reading this book, your teen will gain a healthier self-image and techniques to cultivate and maintain self-esteem. They'll receive guidance on discovering and aligning with their values, and also envision a pathway to success, a clear and concise roadmap to personal growth and fulfillment. The author Marquise Trent brings his extensive experience to the table, offering teens the support they need to thrive. Planned Maturity for Teens is the ultimate guide to helping your teen build a happier, more confident, and successful life. Get your copy today and help your teen embark on a journey to planned maturity.
All right, we're back with Henry Mincey III. When the odds don't stand a chance. We're having a great conversation. We hope you're enjoying it. As we go into the next segment, if you're out there, you're watching the show, and you have a comment, question for myself or Henry Mincey, or you want to just make a statement about something that you gleaned from tonight's subject, I'm going to ask my producer to drop the link so that you can see it. We want you to use that link and come up on the platform, give us your statement or ask a question, and we'll see what happens after that. So if you see the link and you want to join us for a second, make sure that you use it. Don't be shy because we want to hear from you. All right, so Henry, how can someone identify whether they're living intentionally versus reactively?
How one can identify someone is living intentionally or reactively. I think a for sure sign would be being impulsive, seeing, I mean, essentially just reacting uh, to what's going on around you, to who is around you, and doing that without a plan, not having or essentially just not abiding with wisdom and discernment as far as your next option or your next move, your next decision. So you can definitely identify for being impulsive or intentional when you kind of siphon your thoughts through that lens as far as, okay, am I reacting off of how I feel in this moment, or is there a purpose? Is there a reason? Something that is to be achieved beyond just this moment. So I would say that's how you can identify if you're living intentional or just reactively.
I agree. I think it requires study.
Like, yeah,
Requires study. And like
yeah,
you said, you have to intentionally, you have to watch and you have to know. A lot of people use the term, what triggers you, and it can seem negative, but I'm using it as a form of, I believe you can be triggered positively as well. So find out
agree.
what moves you, what's the impetus, and what things don't motivate you. And so, and just watch how you respond. Am I responding in a positive way or a negative way? Am I planning my responses or am I just responding like that knee jerk reaction? And
Exactly.
so that's what we don't want, is that knee jerk reaction. Yeah, maybe sometimes you have to do that, but if you're going to be a person of purpose and direction and intentionality, that takes study, that takes planning,
Indeed, definitely. Diligence. Yeah.
diligence, preparation.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
so how do you define resilience? This is a good one, without romanticizing struggle.
How you read the or how you
Ro-
right define?
Romanticize struggle. That's like when I hear that, I think of the victim mentality.
Yeah, definitely. Or hey, look what I've been, kind of glamorizing. More specifically, the negatives of what you had to endure throughout that life. Resilience, I think, is just a little bit more quiet. Just like I would say, power in a sense, like having that control over yourself to understand I'm not. This is not for a show. This is not to highlight um, how I'm doing better or how I came from worse. Because at least from my experience empirically, there's definitely been I've been around those that will articulate a struggle as if no one else struggled that same way or dealt with any struggles at all. So it's not about trying to triumph or show triumph in that. I think it's just more when you're more focused, you're more concentrated and locked into what you're doing and understanding again why you're doing what you're doing. As long as you're focused and concentrated on your vision, on your goal, and what you want to achieve, that will all matter. So, right, and I think that it epitomizes the resilience when you're just focusing. You're not really trying to. It's not really something that you're going to speak about too much.
All right, thank you. As, well, uh, that link that you guys just saw on the screen, uh, Remember, if you join, want to come in and ask us a question, make a statement about tonight's show, utilize that link, and we would love to have you. All right. So, what advice would you give someone who feels statistically unlikely to succeed?
Man, don't pay attention to the statistics. Don't pay attention to the narrative. Going back to even the last question, just remaining resilient and pressing forward as far as what you know that you have planned for yourself and what you have set for yourself. Um, Definitely don't let and it's definitely gonna take discipline. I think that's a facet I didn't touch on a lot throughout the night, but uh discipline, being disciplined with your time, with your money, with your efforts. um yeah, as long as you do that, there's nothing that can stop you. And uh even if you're not of faith, or if you're of faith, I definitely encourage you, if you are of the faith, continue to hold on to your faith. I think that's going to be a guiding light of its own. And if you're not, even if not, again, having a sense of discipline and not compromising what you know that you have for yourself.
All right. Thanks. All right. So, closing and reflections. We have some closing and reflection before we get into our famous lightning round. So, stay
Okay,
tuned for that. If you could condense your journey into one principle about intentional living, what would it be?
that's a good one. One principle, um, I would say, is faith. Essentially, faith, and not even just in a religious sense, but a steady confidence of achieving in the purpose that beyond just the circumstances, and sticking to that belief, you know, seeing it through the circumstances, um, and seeing how within that faith discipline, how that will shape your trajectory, that will only reinforce where you're trying to go. But essentially, it all started with the faith and you just believing, living with, intentionally, essentially, living with intentionality. Yes, sir.
Oh, all right. And what's the next level of intentionality for you now that you have your MBA?
The next level, I'm gonna say it again on three letters:
Yeah.
CPA. That is the next level. And actually, I'll speak on it. So yeah, I definitely want to have my own firm, uh, accounting firm. That's the long term, far-sighted goal. But yeah, more immediate is achieving and getting my CPA, my licensure.
It's great you said that. It just made me think of uh, once I graduated, I wanted to become a board certified, take that next step and become a board certified coach, which required more discipline, more planning, more determination, more faith, all of those things, and you have to be intentional about it. Otherwise, it won't happen. So great for you. Do me one favor, go back to the last comment, and then we'll take the question that you just put up there. All right. So Donald Watt said the ability to turn a weakness into a strength. I believe he was answering the same question. The one I believe that was a question to if you could, a statement to if you could condense your journey into one principle about intentional living, what would it be? I believe that was his response. Donald, if I'm correct, let us know. The ability to turn a weakness into a strength. And what I will say to that is that that's definitely possible. Something that I would add to that is a lot of times when we do have a weakness, it's good to develop it. However, if we do have something that we may not be great at, and we may never be great at it, we may bring it up to a certain level. But I always challenge people, you know, uh, you work on your strengths and you manage your weaknesses. That's something that we all have to do. And that's just knowing that if I'm not um, strong in an area, I don't have to be. There are other people that can help me in that area. But I do agree that whatever it is, whatever task, whatever goal, you may be able to get stronger in that area, but it just may continue to be an area that you just may not be uh, that strong in. So you just have to learn how to manage it, and then you allow other people to help you in that area, and that goes along the line with, let's say you want your own business. You may not be gifted in every area of that business. And so you bring on people that are strong in the areas where you're weak, but it still makes the whole thing strong. And so I just wanted to point that out. But Donald, thank you for your comment. All right. And it was another comment. What motivated his journey in becoming a gentleman and a scholar? That's a question for you.
It's interesting. I feel like I know who this is. That was kind of a phrase that we had throughout our undergrad program.
Okay.
What motivated me to become a gentleman and a scholar? That's a good question. I mean, like I said, I'll say it like this. I was already, embedded and, bred from within my family structure to be a gentleman. So just seeing through being a scholar, applying just the finesse, the ability to acquiesce, to again be resilient through the challenges. I can say that's what motivated me, not only being a gentleman but a scholar.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what would you say to the version of yourself who thought this outcome was unrealistic or impossible for you to achieve?
What I would say, oh man, that's a good one. Because it definitely was a time that I didn't see it. I like so much to the point it would drive me, to a degree of being anxious and anxiety, to where it's like, hey man, I'm just trying to get through the day. If I can get through a day, if I can pass this next test, get through this next course, that's all I was really trying to focus on. It seemed unrealistic until the point that I did complete each step or each phase of this scholastic journey. So, man, what I would tell myself is, you'll get there. You'll get there. Keep going. Keep going. Because it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's worth it to see within yourself. It's worth it to do what was not in my favor. It's worth it. So that's why I would tell myself, or I told myself, and when it did seem unrealistic, just keep going.
Definitely, definitely. I can, I will, I must, I shall.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Keeping
sir.
all things in mind.
No
And
question
so,
about it. Like, no, stopping is not an option.
yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. Quitting is not an option. When somebody tell me they can't, I tell them CAN is an acronym. It means I certainly am not trying, because there's absolutely nothing that we can't do if we put our mind to it. And I do mean realistically. There's
Exactly.
nothing that we can't achieve if we if we can put our mind to it. Like I said before, if we can think it, we can be it, we can also do it, we can achieve it.
Yes,
And
sir.
so no quitting, no giving up, no caving in, no quitting. Just being totally driven.
Driven.
So, well, I tell you what, we've made it through that. Henry, some people will not watch DrWhitty Today because we don't talk about the latest stars, or we don't gossip about other people's weaknesses or exploit other people's weaknesses for the benefit of building a platform. But for those that would watch it, for empowerment, encouragement, self-development. We've implemented this lightning round, and basically I'm going to shoot some questions at you, and you keep those folks in mind, that audience in mind, and you answer these questions as briefly, as fast and concise as you can, and we just move through them until we get to the end. So you let me know when you're ready, and we're going to go.
Let's get it.
All right. Childhood lesson you thought you had figured out, but life made you figure out again.
Finances. When you get an adulting and your finances is different. Budgeting is a real thing. Yeah.
All right. Budgeting. One moment in Kansas City where you realize I don't have it figured out, but I will figure it out.
One moment. Being authentic through against the street culture. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, how can I be myself? And, but yeah, being authentically me, I would say.
All right. All right. Discipline. Have it figured out or still figuring it out?
Still figuring it out. I think that's just part of the process of sanctification. I can always be more refined.
All right. Faith. Have it figured out or figure it out?
Man, I'm figuring that out for sure. I don't think that's something that can be mastered, not on this side of the ground. Yeah.
Every day, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Purpose over pressure. Figured out or still unfolding?
Ain't gonna lie, I feel figured out on that. I feel figured out.
Okay.
Again, being faithful, intentional, persevering. Yeah.
All right. A belief you used to think you had figured out that adulthood made you completely rethink?
Ooh, that's a good one. Money ain't everything.
Money ain't everything, and I said ain't, y'all. And I
ain't right. We educated, but
all right.
Yeah.
I know some people say, well, the Bible say money answereth all things, but it didn't say money was everything.
It's not everything.
All right. Education as a turning point. Figured out early or figured out along the way?
Great question. I figured that out along the way, for sure.
All right. Humility. Have it figured out or constantly figuring it out?
I feel like I figured that out.
Leadership clarity. Figured out or sharpening every season?
Sharpening every season. I actually, even through the word, I'm being more revealed to what it takes to be a leader. So I think that's progressive.
Exactly. Gratitude. Something you have finally figured out no matter what life throws at you.
Indeed. Yes, I figured that out. Just understanding that, or having the mindset and the spiritual inclination to understand that even the hardest circumstances are the things that are going to refine me. I can still have peace. I can still have joy. All
right. When life hits hard, your first instinct, I've got this figured out, or time to figure this out?
That's a good one. I'll say it takes time for me to figure it out. Because it's like, if it's something I ain't dealt with before either, yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out.
Time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. The one thing you hope listeners realize they don't need to have figured out, they just need to be willing to figure it out.
The future.
That's a good one. The future. and the future takes what?
Intentionality, faith, resilience.
Intentionality, faith, planning, writing things backwards, planning, resilience, clarity, trust, hope. Yeah, we can go on and on. All right. All right. Did we finish?
Oh, no, that ain't it. Doc, I know that ain't it, man.
What happened to my legacy question? All right. Henry, when somebody looks at your life years from now, not the titles, not the achievements, not the hype, but the impact, what do you hope they say that you help them figure out about themselves?
What I hope to have, the impact I hope to have, is that you can be authentically you. You don't have to be perfect. And that you can develop into the person that you see yourself being going forth, a better version, a strengthened version. You can be that. And I think through the journey and just simply walking the walk of my own, and exemplifying those characteristics, that value, that mindset, that will be the impact that other people can say, hey, regardless of my circumstances, regardless of how I started, what I didn't have, or what I did, even what I did have, I can be who I'm destined to be. So yeah, that's the impact.
All right, exactly. That's Henry Mincey III, everybody, on DrWhitty Today. You heard it from the gentleman and the scholar. I hope he adopted the gentleman and the scholar, the gentleman and the scholar, Henry Mincey III. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Make sure you guys keep tuning in to episodes of DrWhitty Today. They're only going to get better. Henry, thank you so much for joining us on the platform. I hope you
My
will
pleasure.
come back and hang out with us again. Somebody said, that's my nephew. All right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That somebody sent you a shout out. Thank you, whoever you are, for joining in tonight. Somebody said, I see that your faith is very strong. What drastic event caused you to build your faith? You can go ahead and answer that.
Man, that's a great question. I can't say it's one event. It's really the ongoing events that is life. Embracing again the unknown, embracing the obstacles that are there or sometimes thrown in front of you, and just having the will and the mindset to not let that stop you through each one. So I can't say it's one particular drastic event that built it. Again, sanctification, that God changing you inside out. That's a process, and and it's progressive. So as long as you keep enduring, and you're gonna keep being purified, you're gonna be refined as you keep going. So that's how I answer that to my brother Sco. Shout out to my man in St. Louis.
All right. He said, that's my brother.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for joining the platform. Closing thought, as I asked Henry about what he believes or what he wishes his legacy to be, I want everybody to just keep in mind that our legacy is not about what we leave behind, but it's about every life that we touch and that we impact along the way. So with all that being said, this is DrWhitty Today. Please make sure that you come back and join us. We air every other Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is Tuesday, you might say. Every now and then we do a show on Tuesday. And today happened to be one of those days. But normally the show airs every other Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, different topics. This year's theme or word of the year is intentionality. And I think I stole that from Mr. Mincey. So, yeah, intentionality. So we're going to be talking about that a lot. So please make sure that you come back and join us. You can rewatch these videos. You can see that I'm on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and also Twitch. Visit my website, drwhitty.org. Until next time, we wish everyone a great season. So thank you once again, Henry, and stick by for the after show. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us on DrWhitty Today. We appreciate your time, and your viewership is the heartbeat of our show. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and most importantly, subscribe. Your support keeps us going, and we can't wait to have you back. So hit the notification bell to find out each time we air live. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, stay motivated, and stay tuned.